Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the United States national debt has reached a record of over $40 trillion. We'll have the latest from Washington, D.C. Plus, we'll hear from the two candidates looking to become Michigan's next governor, Republican John James and Democrat Jocelyn Benson, with Election Day just 3 months away. And Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist holds a luncheon at this year's UP State Fair. We'll hear the message he gave to visitors. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Kelly, good evening. I can certainly see why there's a bunch of stuff on the radar behind you. The clouds are getting pretty dark out there.
Yeah, Kevin, good evening. The clouds have been thickening up all evening, and we are now starting to see some showers move in from the western portions of the Upper Peninsula. So we don't quite have the rain just yet, but we are expecting some of that rain to move through this evening and into tonight. Temperatures have been warming a little bit just ahead of the rain, so 79 down to Menominee, 77 for Iron Mountain, 75 here in Marquette. It is a comfortable evening, but again, we will be seeing some showers move through, and we'll have a full breakdown of your weekend outlook in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Kelly. Thank you very much. Our national debt has hit an all-time high, $40 trillion. Financial experts say the annual interest alone on the accumulated debt is now $1 trillion, which has now become one of the government's biggest expenses. So how did we get here? Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
$40 trillion and climbing. That's the new record of the national debt. We're told the amount reflects an increase in federal spending, as well as funding for social programs, higher defense costs, and rising interest payments on the national debt. The national debt has climbed over several administrations. Experts tell us the federal government is spending more than it collects.
I don't think you can really talk about the debt without talking about how we got here. And the answer is multiple rounds of expensive tax cuts enacted this century. We always knew baby boomers were going to be retiring. We always knew that healthcare costs were growing. So we always knew that Medicare costs would grow. We always knew that Social Security costs would grow. But we used to have a tax system set to keep pace with that. Then we cut taxes, and now we don't. And it's as simple as that.
The number itself, while it gets the headlines, what's more concerning to me is the trajectory. It's like a hockey stick going up.
We're told the increased debt could affect Americans' pocketbooks.
Things such as your credit card interest rates might go up. Mortgage rates could go up. Borrowing money could go up. And as you know, the more interest rates you're paying, the more difficult decisions you're going to have to make on a day-to-day basis in terms of just everyday goods and services that you buy.
The White House is blaming the previous administration and says in part that's why the Trump administration has been focused on slashing waste, fraud, and abuse in federal spending while accelerating economic growth to get America's debt to GDP ratio trending in the right direction again.
The issue is there's no line item in the budget called fraud, waste, and abuse that you just get rid of.
In Washington, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
The race for Michigan's next governor is shaping up, and both candidates are zeroing in on the cost of living as a top issue. Democratic nominee Jocelyn Benson says she's hearing it from families across the state. Republican nominee John James says he's focused on protecting the programs seniors rely on. Both made their case during separate campaign stops this week.
And I see those battle lines drawn when I talk to the single mom in Muskegon who has to decide whether to eat or pay rent. That is real.
I've been working very, very closely to make sure that we are pushing back on fraudsters and people who would steal from vital programs like Medicaid.
We're now just 3 months out from November's election, and campaign season is in full swing. Our teams in the UP, Lansing, and D.C. will be watching races closely to bring you all the latest updates. Today's UP State Fair activities included a visit from Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist. Our Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons joins us live from the fairgrounds. Lily, good evening. Tell us about the Lieutenant Governor's luncheon.
Kevin, the Lieutenant Governor addressed a tent full of fairgoers today, talking about some of the key issues that Michiganders are facing every day. He touted some of the ways that the state has been working to improve those situations, but he also said that there is still a lot of work to be done.
Every single table here is full of people who've advocated for higher quality of life in the Upper Peninsula.
Gilchrist says one critical method of improving quality of life for Michigan families is affordable child care.
There are families all across this peninsula who pay more for child care than they do for their mortgage.
He says in recent years, Michigan has made the most progress toward expanded access to child care in a generation.
We've opened up more new centers, we have more new professionals, and there are more new slots than we've ever had. But we know there's more to come.
He praised the current legislation for ensuring K-12 students are fed in school, then turned to the subject of higher education.
There are amazing options for higher education in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan that help lay the foundation for an economic future that is prosperous and inclusive.
He says programs like Michigan Reconnect are making those options more accessible.
As someone who only was able to go to University of Michigan because of a scholarship, I know the difference that can make in someone's life and trajectory.
Gilchrist acknowledged the difficulties that healthcare organizations are facing due to federal funding cuts.
We lost a hospital a couple of years ago. We have lost maternity beds. That has led to babies being born on the freeway instead of at the hospital. That's not a good thing.
He says Michigan is working to protect patients impacted by those cuts and promises the state's dedication to providers.
I thank you for that service. I know the state of Michigan will continue to be thankful and will continue to be supportive to make sure you have what you need regardless of what happens at the federal level.
Finally, he addressed retirees. He says investments are being made to ensure their dreams of staying and living well in the UP are achievable.
We have an opportunity to make sure that we are supporting everyone at every station of life. We've worked to try to put money in people's pockets. We've worked to try to lay a foundation for them to make money going forward.
The Lieutenant Governor also addressed a few of the fairgoers' questions, including what his position is on data centers. He said that he has concerns about the way that they're moving into the state of Michigan, calling it one of the ugliest examples of corporate bullying. He believes that the state should hit the brakes temporarily on the movement of data centers into the state and look into the impacts that they could have on the environment as well as local communities. Reporting live in Escanaba, I'm Lily Simmons. Back to you.
Lily, thank you very much. Your first warning weather forecast is after the break. Plus, in this week's Medical Minute in partnership with OSF Healthcare, we're getting some tips on boating safety. And we're live in Marquette for tonight's Music on Third festivities. We'll be right back after this.
Now, from the 19 News Forecast Center, this is WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
And welcome back. We are starting to see some rain move into the area, which is starting to set off an unsettled pattern as we move towards the weekend. So this is a wider view. We have some scattered showers ahead of this line out to Sault Ste. Marie. Just some cloudy skies for the majority of the Upper Peninsula, but there are some showers and very isolated thunderstorms all the way out to the western portions. But we are looking at that to move through. So if you are out and about this evening and tonight, just know we do have that chance of rain moving through for everyone for tonight. Today, 78 degrees. That average is 74, so we got a little push of some warmth before the cloud cover rushed in for the rain. No rain, though, as of 5:30. Probably going to see that change for the midnight totals, but around midnight, we will be continuing to see those showers and storms move through. Wouldn't be surprised if we get that brief moment of some heavy downpours that will last into the morning commute tomorrow. So really just have the rain gear handy for tonight, tomorrow morning, and even for your Friday evening plans. We could also see this system re-strengthen or redevelop even down towards the Escanaba area at this point for your Friday night. So you can see it does set off that unsettled pattern even for Saturday morning. The majority of the morning and the majority of the area will be dry, but we do have some scattered shower possibilities for the morning. It really just depends where you are and the timing of maybe your outdoor plans for the weekend, but we are looking at Saturday night to clear out most of that rain. So not a washout of the next 48 hours by any means, but we do have those rain chances that have a few different rounds of it, and a few of those downpours could be heavy at times. So we may have some visibility issues when it comes to the roadways for your Friday night and into Saturday morning. We have a very probable chance of seeing those Friday night storms and showers, and then that tapers off to a low chance Saturday morning looking dry, but then some of those Saturday evening showers and storms return for us. So as for the winds, it is going to be breezy, and just with these multiple rounds of rain, the wind direction is probably going to shift quite a bit throughout the weekend. So the benefit of that is that there's not a lot of time for the wind to actually gain speed. So the winds will be shifting a lot of the times, but at least we can keep some of those speeds on the lower end of things. As for the humidity, the really only time you're going to feel it is for Friday evening when we have those showers and storms. It's going to feel very comfortable though for Saturday night into Sunday. Even if we do have some rain chances in here at this time, we are going to have that cool, crisp kind of air until we get to a Monday night into Tuesday. That's when we'll see that humidity spike back up. Your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, the majority of the U.S. is on that warm trend, but we have a near average, probably getting some of that colder air to influence that outlook. So I put near average, but it is going to be slightly cooler than that most likely, especially for that 7 to 10 day outlook. So low temperatures for tonight as showers and thunderstorms move through. We'll dip down to the upper 50s and lower 60s, but then we will raise those temperatures up to the mid 70s with those chances of scattered showers and storms. Will trickle into your Sunday, hopefully clearing out by Monday, and then a few showers returning for your Tuesday with temperatures into the upper 70s.
Kelly, thank you again. Coming up next on your 19 News, we'll go over some boating safety tips in this week's Medical Minute, and Northern Michigan University welcomes their students for the upcoming school year. We're back in 2 minutes.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. As we're in the midst of summer, many people are hitting the water. In this week's Medical Minute, in partnership with OSF Healthcare, we're getting some tips on boating safety. Take a listen. Dr. Cooley, thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about boating season. So what are the most common concerns that can come up while boating in the summer months?
Well, the most important thing is being able to keep yourself out of trouble when you're alone in the Upper Peninsula. There's lots of places in the UP where we have good access to water, and a lot of those places don't have access to lots of help. Even a cell phone, as we know in the UP, isn't going to be a reliable means of getting communication. The most important thing in being on the water in the UP and anywhere else really is the use of a life jacket.
Sure, so life jackets for sure. Are there any other ways we can help prevent injury or accidents while boating?
The biggest one is let other people know where you are while you're out and about. In the Coast Guard parlance, that's called a float plan. Let people that are on shore and available know when you expect to return and when and where that you're headed out, so that if you don't come back unexpectedly, you get a chance to be rescued.
All right, excellent. I think that's all the time we have. Dr. Cooley, thank you so much for hopping on with us today.
You're welcome. Enjoyed it.
The busy weekend for Marquette continues as August winds down, with NMU officially welcoming all students back to campus for the 2026-27 year. Today marked the first day of move-in for non-summer housing students, a sign of classes just around the corner. With about 3,000 beds on campus, university staff has been preparing since August 1st for all of the new faces stepping on campus for the first time. NMU is expecting a smaller freshman class compared to past years, though it's no small feat to make sure everyone is welcomed like a Wildcat.
We're super excited to welcome all of our new students and returning students. We're happy to have you all, and we're looking forward to our next academic year.
The first official day of classes for NMU is Monday, August 24th. Mike Ludlam has your look at sports after the break. He'll give us a preview as the Michigan Tech football team prepares for the upcoming season. And later, a brand new football team with no home field, no weight room, and no blocking sled, yet they still have the spirit. We'll stop by the Copper Island Academy's practice when we come back.
I'm Tony DeCoppel. Ahead on the CBS Evening News, a surprising move from the U.S. Army back in January as drones reshaped the battlefield in Ukraine and the Middle East. The U.S. military created a new battalion meant to help the U.S. find dominance with this new technology. But the acting chief of staff in the U.S. Army has eliminated that battalion, raising new questions about American readiness. That story and more ahead on the CBS Evening News.
What's that term mean? Hi there, 1, 2, 3. Hey, all the letters in Delft on my side of the window are working tonight. Outstanding. Good evening, everyone. Michigan Tech's Dan Metlack begins his 5th season as head coach next week. His career record is 23-20, with the Huskies going 7-4 the past 2 seasons. Metlack ranks 5th in Tech history in total offense with a combined number of 6,348 yards and 66 touchdowns. The Gwynn High School graduate helped guide the Huskies to a GLIAC championship and the program's first trip to the NCAA tournament in 2004. He wants to get this team back to the postseason. One player who can help them get in that direction is defensive lineman Pierce Miller.
A little bit older. Nolan's a little bit older. You know, Brendan Keel's a little bit older up front. You know, we got Chase Hawk coming back in. I mean, ultimately, I think that we're just trying to play the same brand of football we've been playing the last few years. We've got some great guys at linebacker. I believe we've got some great guys, some, you know, younger guys, but some guys who can absolutely do some good for us back in the DB room.
Let's go, Flash. Good day to have a great day, baby.
I feel real good about that entire side. We've got, you know, 8 guys coming back on that side that have started games here at Tech, and obviously Pierce, you know, is setting the tone on that side of the football from the defensive line spot. But we've got guys at every level that have big-time minutes in our league.
GLIAC's always tough. We know we play in the best D2 conference in the nation, so we're excited for the challenge, and obviously we think we're up there with the best this year, so we're excited.
The opening kickoff for Michigan Tech's season is about 168.5 hours away, also known as next Thursday night at Bemidji State. NMU starts the same night at Minnesota State, Moorhead. Across the Portage Lake Lift Bridge, there's a new 8-player varsity football team in the Upper Peninsula High School ranks this season. The Copper Island Academy Eagles use this field in Trap Rock Valley for practice. Trap Rock Valley, by the way, is north of Lake Linden. The Eagles don't have a home field, they don't have benches, they don't have a blocking sled, but 18 players are fired up and ready for their first game next week. Lake Linden Hubble graduate Clay Larson is the Copper Island coach. Having fun and playing smart are 2 keys right now.
Kids that aren't afraid to get their hands dirty with against bigger kids, so hopefully we're ready. When it comes to scheme-wise, we're just trying to make sure we're tackling and doing the fundamentals right. Offense-wise, we're going to try to be quick. We got to be quicker if we're going to get bigger guys to move. So ultimately, at the end of the day, hopefully we can keep our pad level low and move.
The last year we had a JV team. We had a lot of wins there, so it was super fun. Now hoping to do that again this year. It's good bonding too on the bus rides. We had a couple 5-hour trips last year. We have a couple 7-hour trips this year. It's good times with the whole team. You get to go on a bus, you talk for that long. I mean, you get to know all your teammates pretty good.
Copper Island Academy starts the season next Thursday at Brimley, followed by a shorter bus ride to Ontonagon on Friday, September 4th. The Eagles have an 8-game schedule. The Calumet High School volleyball team did something rather unusual last season. The Copper Kings lost in the district tournament. They had won 13 districts in a row, but Calumet's reputation is so good, it still received honorable mention votes in the first statewide poll in Division III this season. The Copper Kings are ready to bounce back this fall.
We have some height. We have really good ball control, I think. Our libero, Jess Anderson, is back. She's doing a great job. And good senior leadership across the front row and from the setting position, too.
There's 3 of us who are on our 3rd year this year. And I just think last year it's going to help us to push forward with having like a growing year and going through some growing pains. And I think that we'll be able to come back a lot more confident and know what to expect and where we need to improve moving forward this year.
The Copper Kings have the long bus ride to start the season. Saturday, they visit the Cadillac Invitational. By the way, Forest Park is ranked 5th in Division 4 in the first preseason volleyball poll as well. The word is implode. It means to burst or collapse inward with force. It is the opposite of explode. Explode means to break apart or burst with great loud noise and great force. Which word better describes the Detroit Tigers bullpen this season? Well, I'll leave that up to you. But Detroit's bullpen has been a major weak point this season, highlighted by 28 blown saves, the second most in Major League Baseball. Detroit has 26 saves out of 54 opportunities and 19 losses when leading in the 7th inning or later. The Tigers visit Kansas City tomorrow. Milwaukee defeated Seattle this afternoon by the score of 7-4. The Dallas Cowboys and New Orleans Saints have each been fined $500,000 for multiple fights that occurred at Tuesday's joint practice. The NFL said on Tuesday that the competition committee has made sportsmanship a point of emphasis over the years, including sportsmanship at joint practices, and the league told every team about that emphasis this summer. All clubs were reminded by memo prior to training camp of their responsibility in preventing unsportsmanlike behavior at joint practices that has the potential to result in injury. That was said by a league spokesperson in a statement today. The Packers are at the Denver Broncos in preseason play tomorrow, and the Washington Commanders visit the Detroit Lions Saturday. That's a really early start. It's right around noon, so good things for the Lions if they get stuff done. And that is sports. We will be right back.
And a final check of your forecast. We have some showers moving through the Upper Peninsula for tonight and extending into the overnight, but these are fairly well behaved. Should just be your general rain and a few thunderstorms in there, but it does set off a little bit of an unsettled weather pattern. We have some showers for your Friday morning commute, and then we'll be tracking some thunderstorms very likely for your Friday evening. So tomorrow is one of those days where you just have to watch the skies and stay up to date with your weather team. I'll have another update coming your way later tonight.
Sounds good to me, Kelly. Thank you again. That is all the time we have for right now, everyone. More headlines coming your way tonight at 11:10 Central. We'll see you then. Have a great night.